monetary policy curve and how it is related to the IS curve and eddy curve. So first we will draw the monetary policy curve and then we'll see how it is related with the other curves. So for drawing the monetary policy curve, uh, first we will see what is the level of inflation in the economy and then what is the real rate of interest in the economy. Okay, maybe we'll write it little far so that other things we can write. Real rate of interest in the economy. Real rate of interest is nothing but R is equal to I minus pi. So here I is the nominal rate of interest and pi is the inflation. Okay, now what is the relation between this real rate of interest and inflation? So the relation is for the MP curve we can say that it is a positive relation. So why there is a positive relation? So let us say, for example, the inflation level is 10%, 15% and then 20%. These three inflation levels are there in economy. So now at the three inflation level, what should be the policy of the central bank, or let's say it is of RBI? What should be the policy? So the policy will be maybe when the rate of inflation was 10%, the real rate of interest was around 7%. Okay, so when the inflation has increased to 15%, so we have to increase the rate of interest by, let's say, 8%. And then when the inflation is increasing to 20%, we have to increase the rate of interest by maybe, let's say, 9%. Okay, so what is happening here? As the inflation increases, we have to increase the real rate of interest so that we will be able to control the overall inflation. How it will happen? That is, see, real rate of interest is equal to nominal rate of interest minus the inflation. Okay, so let's say this nominal rate of return is, nominal interest rate is 20% and inflation is, let's say, 10%. So in that case the real rate of interest is 10%. Now the government is thinking to reduce the rate of inflation. So what they will do, let's say the government wish to reduce it by 5%. So what they will do, they will increase this nominal rate of interest to, let's say, 25%. This comes under the Taylor's principle, where which says that if you want to increase the inflation by 5%, reduce the inflation by 5%, you have to increase the nominal rate of interest by more than 5%. Okay, so we not only have to like stop the pace of the economy, but also we have to reduce it, like same as what we see for the cars. So we not only have to lose the accelerator, but we also have to press the brake. So that is the same way it happens. Now with this, now the next graph is of IS curve, which is this one. This is the IS curve. So this side we have output and this side we have real interest rate again. So this is 7%, this is 8% and this is the 9%. Now with this we can see different levels of output in the economy. Maybe output was 100 crores, 200 crore and 300 crore. Now this is a fact that as the rate of interest is high, the overall the output in the economy will be lower, or because, see, consumption will reduce, investment will reduce, and then even net exports will also reduce. So because of that, now see here, when the rate of interest is high, your output is low, but as the rate of interest is reducing to 7%, your output is increasing to 300%. Now the same relation goes for the aggregate demand as well, where we have again this negative relation. Now this side we write inflation, and this side we write again the output, and this is the aggregate demand curve. Now this you might remember from microeconomics also, that this inflation, instead of that we had there the price, and this side we usually have the output, and the demand curve was downward sloping. This we have seen in microeconomics also, same is happening here. Now here also again we put the relations. So inflation is, so this what will be the values of inflation, this we can take from here, 10, 15 and 20%. So the inflation is was 10%, then 20, maybe it was 15%, and then 20%. Output is 100 crore, 200 crore and 300 crore. Now see here, as the inflation is increasing, our overall output is reducing. This you can see also, as the price level increases, overall quantity demanded reduces in the economy. The same is happening here. So overall, first, based on the inflation, the central bank decides the real rate of interest, and this real rate of interest decides the investment and saving level in the economy, in the goods market, which then determines the overall aggregate demand of the economy. So this is how the monetary policy curve is drawn, which is this one. This is the monetary policy curve. So this curve says that, 1 minute. So this curve shows that how the RBI or the central bank has to change their policies, or so it is a guiding principle, or a guiding principle for the central bank, and it is happening as per the Taylor principle. And what Taylor principle says, that if your inflation is high, so in order to tackle that, you have to increase your nominal rate of interest by much more higher amount. So that is how this monetary policy curve is drawn, and this is the monetary policy curve. Okay, thank you.